What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. To keep up with our spring theme today, we are going to be making a honeybee here. That's why I have my crazy sweater on that kind of reminds me of a bee, but also kind of looks like a tiger. Whatever. I wanted to match our drawing today. So we're going to be making this bee drawing here. It's kind of more of a realistic bee, but it has some fun designs on it. I colored mine in really simple, but you can make yours lots of different colors. Bees are really cool animals. My grandpa actually used to be a beekeeper. He doesn't keep them anymore, but he used to have hives in his backyard and lots of bees. They're really interesting animals because they can fly for up to 6 miles in one day, which is crazy because most people can't walk 6 miles straight. That's a long time. They can fly pretty fast for a small animal. They can fly 15 miles an hour. They visit 50 to 100 flowers a day. They do a lot of work every single day to collect pollen to make honey, and they're super important for our flowers because if we didn't have bees, then we wouldn't have all of our pretty flowers outside. So we are going to make a drawing today celebrating our bee. Also, in case you're wondering, it says "you are the bee's knees" on the bottom here. It's just a saying that basically means I think you're cool. So go ahead, get your coloring stuff. I do recommend with this one, start with a pencil first because there's just a lot of little lines and stuff that you might need to change. But go get your coloring stuff, get your paper, pencil, eraser, and we will get started. Alright guys, I'm going to get us started here and I'm going to be drawing with marker, but again, I do recommend you do pencil first. There's just lots of little lines and stuff that you might want to change up as we're drawing. We're going to start with this part of the body here, this kind of middle part, and we're going to draw that regular circle first. So we want to draw this with enough space to draw the bottom of the body and to draw the head on top. I'm going to go right to the middle of my paper and work my way down a little bit. I'll start right here. And I am going to just make a nice circle. Not too big. There we go. Before we add the fluffy stuff, I want to add two little bumpy circles where I want the wings to attach. So I'm going to just draw like a little bumpy circle, kind of like our sunflowers we did yesterday. Bumpy circle on each side. And then we are going to draw the wings. Now, for the wings, we're going to go one line at a time and do it on each side as we go along. So, start by doing a line that angles up like that. Not all the way to the edge, and then do the same on the other side. So 1, 2. Then you are going to make a line that kind of angles down a little ways. 1, 2. Then you are going to make another one that goes almost straight up and down, actually. So almost straight up and down. So these are two short lines. There we go. And then I know it's a lot of lines, sorry guys. Then you are going to make a line that goes angled down like this. It's very similar to this line up here, so it's kind of the same. But you're gonna stop when there's just a little bit of space left for it to get back. So angle, down, okay. And then finally, you're gonna just have it curve up and touch back up here. So, whoop, like that. There we go. Now, normally if you were drawing it without like all the cool designs and stuff inside, you would actually draw another piece in here and add some little veins, almost like we do when we draw leaves, but we're not going to do that for this one because we're going to be adding in flowers. Now we can add the bottom part of the body, and that is two curved lines that meet, just like a flower petal, like what we drew yesterday. So I'm going to start on each side, and I'm going to draw a curved line that stops when it's kind of in the middle of where the circle is. So actually I'm going to make it a teeny bit longer. And then the other side, curved, and then stops. And they didn't quite meet, so there we go. Alright, you can go ahead and you can add some curved lines, kind of like a smiley mouth. So you can have some stripes on your bee. And then we're gonna add these fluffy parts, okay? So the first one is kind of like a bumpy line that's kind of going all around our first circle we drew, except it goes behind the wings. Then you're gonna add two little fluffy parts here, right near the top of this bottom part of the body. So fluffy part here, and a fluffy part there. Now what you might notice, guys, is that actually my two drawings are starting to look pretty different the way things are spaced out. Yours will probably look a little bit different from mine too. You might have some parts that are closer together or further apart. If you get to a point where something is too close to something else, like for example, this leg on this one I just drew, look, it's too close. It's an easy fix. You just make the leg go behind the wings or have something else go behind a different part, okay? So don't worry if yours is not the same, because look, mine's not even the same, and I drew this one and I can't make mine exactly the same. So it's fine. We are going to not do the legs yet though. I just wanted to talk about that for a second, but we're gonna work on the head, okay? So the head is about as wide as this first circle we drew. So I'm gonna look at where the side of the circle is and move up to the top of the fluffy part. And I'm going to do two little lines that go out, like towards the outside of the paper. Then they are going to curve in and meet at the top. So curve in, and meet. Nice. Now compared to their bodies, bees have really big eyes. You might be able to see it just a little bit on here. You are going to draw a big oval on each side. That big oval is kind of resting inside the area where the head angles, right there. And now it's just time to draw our legs and our antennas. The legs and the antennas are just a bunch of zigzags that are kind of thin. We'll start with the antennas up here. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It helps me to count because then when I do the other side to make it look thicker, I know when to stop. So I counted to 6 that time, so I'll go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let them connect. Now if I did 6 little zigzags on this side, I'm going to do 6 on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Now for the legs, I'm not going to do so many zigzags. I'm going to just do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You notice how when I draw the second line, I try to have it slowly get closer and closer to the first so it looks bigger here and smaller there. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay? Your legs too, like this one is kind of bending that way and this one's bending the other. Again, that's fine, guys. They can move their legs in all sorts of crazy ways. Alright, now when we draw these legs that go here, on my new bee that I'm drawing, my wings are way too close, so I'm going to have to draw the leg kind of behind. So let's go out, kind of behind. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. All right, very nice. Then we got 2 more legs to go. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On these ones, these are the biggest legs. They're like the thickest legs. So I really try to make it look like it's bigger where it's touching the body and gets smaller as it gets to the point. That's just something you have to practice to get better at, but you may as well try it with this drawing and see how you do. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna start up high. 1. When I zigzag again, I'm gonna get a little closer. 2, a little closer. 3, and then even closer. 4, and there we go. So we got all that tricky stuff out of the way. I know drawing a bee like this is not super easy, but I bet you guys did an awesome job. Now, if you want to make it look more realistic, you could draw some little veins in the wings that look really similar to how we draw veins in a leaf. I think it's cool to draw flowers, usually you can start with a circle for the center, and you could do pointed petals like a sunflower or a daisy. You could do rounded petals. You can do all sorts of different flowers. I like the idea of drawing like flowers all over the wings because I just think it's cute for one thing, but also it kind of shows what the honeybee does for us and why they're so important. Alright, oh, and then of course, if you want to add the little heart in the middle, sorry, my big giant sleeves that I'm wearing, that's part of my weird sweater. Keep pushing my paper around. Alright, so to draw a heart, a lot of you already know how, but I'll show you an easy way if you don't know how. You can start with the letter V, okay? And then do a bumpy line on top with 2 bumps. And you can make a heart that way. And then you're finished unless you want to write your little saying on the bottom. I'm going to do kind of different writing this time. You are the... Ooh, I'm going to run out of space. Bees. Knees. There. And once you got it all drawn out, then you guys can start coloring it. You can do like I did and just do black and yellow. You could make the wings blue if you want to, or you can make it all sorts of rainbow colors, whatever you feel like. But have fun as you guys are coloring it in. And I would love to see it when you guys are all finished. Alright guys, I hope that you had fun making your honeybee with me today. I'd love to see the way that you chose to color yours in or how you chose to make your flowers for the wings. And I will see you guys tomorrow for our last video of the week. Bye!